Ever wondered what kind of jobs would never exist or fly in the USA? From the absurd to the downright bizarre, these jobs will make you scratch your head in disbelief. Join us as we explore 15 strange jobs that could never exist in the USA. Surprisingly, some of these jobs pay well, but their very nature would leave you completely awestruck, so keep up. Number 15. Live mannequin. Ever heard of live art modeling? This odd job requires you to stay completely still for a couple of hours. Yes, you heard that right. As a live art model or mannequin, you must pose in different positions for long periods. At the same time, artists and sculptors use you as a reference to create their masterpieces. This job has been around for centuries and is deeply rooted in history, dating back to the ancient Greeks. But this is not just any ordinary modeling job. As a live mannequin, you are often expected to be in character and, as such, can be dressed in period costumes or props to bring a particular theme or story to life. So, it's about more than standing still. It's about embodying a character and helping to create a work of art. This job pays quite well, with hourly rates ranging from $50 to $200. And if you're really good at it, you could make up to $10,000 a month. But, as with any job, there are some things to consider. For starters, you'll need to have the ability to hold a pose for a long time, which can be physically and mentally challenging. And, just like with live art modeling, you may be required to pose in the nude, so you'll need to be comfortable with your body and confident in front of others. But, if you're up for the challenge, this could be a fun and exciting career path, especially if you're looking for something different. You can even specialize in specific themes like fantasy, horror, or sci-fi and work for movies, TV shows, or theme parks. If you have a creative side and think you have what it takes to be a human mannequin, you can start searching for local human mannequin agencies or artists in your area. Who knows, you might just become the next masterpiece. Number 14. Fake company executives. Speaking of odd jobs, have you ever heard of decoy executives and professionals? This career has become quite popular in China. Many companies love to have international representatives at their meetings and summits, and that's where decoys come in. You might be wondering, what exactly does a decoy do? If you own a suit, you might be a perfect candidate for this job. The idea is simple. Companies hire people to attend meetings or events and pose as high-level executives or professionals. The decoys don't need any specific expertise or knowledge, just the ability to look the part. But wait, it gets even better. While some job listings may require a speech or a presentation, most decoys usually just sit around and earn up to $3,000 weekly. That's right, you heard that correctly. Some decoys can make more money than real executive jobs without having responsibilities or knowledge about the company they're representing. Now, you might be thinking, why couldn't this job exist in the USA? Well, for starters, companies in the US are more likely to conduct background checks and scrutinize the qualifications of the people they hire. Additionally, this job's legal and ethical implications could be more complex in the USA. What do you think of this job? Would you be a decoy if given the chance? Let us know in the comments below. Number 13. Professional bridesmaids and groomsmen. You might wonder, what in the world is a professional bridesmaid or groomsman? Well, it's pretty simple. They are bodies for hire and are professional best friends who attend weddings and other events in place of your actual friends. That's right, you can hire someone to be your bridesmaid or groomsman. But wait, there's more. These professionals aren't just there to look pretty in matching dresses or suits. They also provide emotional support and help to make your big day go as smoothly as possible. Need someone to hold your hand during your vows? No problem. Forget your speech? They can deliver a custom one for you. They truly are the ultimate wingmen and women. One such person is Jen Glantz, who made a company called Bridesmaid for Hire. This company provides exceptional service and moral support on your special day. Not only are there professionals at your side, but they can also offer Skype sessions and custom speeches as extra packages. Can you imagine hiring a professional best friend on your big day? It might sound strange, but it's a great way to ensure that you have someone to share your special moments with, who can provide you with emotional support and help make your day even more special. Sounds like a dream come true, right? Unfortunately, this profession could never exist in the USA due to laws against deception and fraud. Plus, Americans value genuine relationships and would likely find the idea of hiring a friend to be rather strange. But who knows? Maybe one day our society will evolve to a point where the body for hires is seen as a valuable service. Until then, we'll just have to admire the creativity of those who have made this profession a reality in other parts of the world. So the next time you're at a wedding and see a group of best friends who seem a little too perfect, just remember that they might be the professional body for hire. Number 12. Bonsai artist. This is so unique and extraordinary a profession that you'll wonder if it's even real. Bonsai tree art is a Japanese practice that requires mastering the skill of dwarfing real trees and then shaping them into intricate and artful designs. But that's not all. The job demands the most crucial trait of all, patience. Yes, you heard it right, patience. It can take up to 3 years for a transplant to create new roots and another 5 years for the tree to adapt to the artist's changes. Meet Chiyako Yamamoto, a skilled bonsai tree artist who dedicated her life to creating unique designs. She has mastered the art of shaping trees and is now known for her incredible work worldwide. Yamamoto mentions that creating a masterpiece bonsai tree is a challenging task. The small bonsai tree you see here took 15 long years to complete, while the bigger one took an astonishing 25 years to reach the shape you see now. Bonsai trees are not only an art form, but also a living thing that responds to light and water. Therefore, creating and maintaining these beautiful trees is a never-ending process that demands the artist's utmost attention. Now, you might wonder if such an extraordinary job could exist in the USA. Well, it might not be a popular job in the US, but with the world's growing love for bonsai trees, there is a chance for this art form to gain popularity in the States too. Number 11. Marble harvesters. Did you know that some of the world's most stunning and awe-inspiring structures are made of marble? From the iconic Taj Mahal to the Roman Colosseum, marble has been used to create some of the most impressive structures in human history. But have you ever stopped to wonder where all that marble comes from? The answer might surprise you. The quarries in Carrara, Italy produce more marble than anywhere else on the Earth. In fact, they produce a staggering 4 million tons per year, and it takes a team of over 13,000 people to harvest and extract all that material. These workers use a variety of tools and techniques to extract the marble from the mountain. It's a dangerous job that requires skill, precision, and a steady hand. They carefully drill 3 holes in a slab of marble to create 1 vertical line and 2 horizontal lines. These lines meet in one central strategic spot, which allows the marble to be carved out using the diamond wire. Once the marble has been extracted, it's cut into blocks using more wires or even chainsaws. These blocks are then shipped off to be turned into the beautiful structures that we all know and love. But sadly, these jobs could never exist in the United States due to safety regulations and a host of other factors. So the next time you're admiring a beautiful marble structure, take a moment to appreciate the hard work and dedication of the people who made it all possible. Number 10. Human bed warmer. This job may sound a bit ridiculous, but in reality, it's a demanding job across the globe. Professional bed warmers are hired to break in freshly made beds and warm them up for hotel guests, hospital staff, or even patients. The job is not as easy as it sounds. The bed warmers wear fleece bodysuits and lie on the bed for a maximum of 10 minutes to warm it up. They have to ensure that the bed is comfortable and ready for the guests to sleep in. The job requires physical endurance and a passion for comfort, but the big question is, how much does this comfortable job pay? Well, the charge for a professional bed warmer can range anywhere between $50 and $75 per night, depending on the location and the specific job requirements. And believe it or not, the annual salary for a professional bed warmer can be a whopping $200,000. However, despite its popularity in other parts of the world, this job would likely not exist in the USA. Why? Well, for one thing, Americans tend to prefer air conditioning over warm beds, especially in the summer months. And secondly, there are strict laws and regulations in the USA that would make it difficult to hire someone to warm up a bed, especially in a hospital or medical setting. Number 9. Truffle hunter. Ever heard of a truffle hunter? These people have one of the most unique jobs in the world. Real truffles are only found underground, and they have to be sniffed out by a truffle hunter. Let me explain how it works. First, truffle hunters and their dogs have to go out and search for truffles. Their dogs are trained to sniff out the truffle's location, but it's not as easy as it sounds. Truffles grow underground and can be quite elusive, so it takes a lot of patience and skill to find them. Once their dogs locate a truffle, then the truffle hunter has to dig it out by hand. This can be a painstaking process, as the truffles are fragile and can easily be damaged. After digging it out, the hunter still has to sniff the truffle to make sure it's even ripe. If it's not ripe, he has to bury it back in the ground to give it more time to grow. Even after getting a good truffle, it can go bad after just 5 days, so they have to be sold very quickly. However, the rewards for finding a good truffle can be huge. An 80-gram truffle can get you $90, while the world's largest white truffle sold for a staggering $61,000 in 2014. But here's the thing. Truffle hunting is a job that could never exist in the USA. Why? Because truffles only grow in certain parts of the world, and unfortunately, the United States isn't one of them. So, unless you're willing to travel to Europe or other parts of the world, you won't find a job as a truffle hunter in the USA. Number 8. Food stylist. Are you looking for a career that's a little out of the ordinary? Well, here's one right here for you. You know those mouth-watering cheeseburger commercials or posters that make you want to take a big bite out of your screen? That's the work of a professional food stylist. Their job is to make food look as appetizing and desirable as possible to attract customers and grow businesses. Now, you might think that you need a background in design or culinary arts to become a food stylist, but that's not necessarily the case. A good eye for what looks right to the customer is essential, and creativity is key to making it big in this picturesque career. And don't let the pretty pictures fool you. Food styling can be an intensive job that requires lifting and carrying equipment and excellent time management skills. To stand out as a food stylist, you need to be creative and full of zest. After all, the ultimate goal is to sell more products and food. Now, you might be wondering how much a food stylist can earn. Salaries can range from $25,000 to $90,000 per year, depending on your experience and expertise. Unfortunately, this job could never exist in the USA if it required the styling of illegal or exotic foods. Can you imagine styling dishes made with crickets or insects, which is illegal in many US states? Number 7. Pet food tester. We all love our pets and want to give them the best possible care, but have you ever considered a job as a professional pet food tester? Yes, you heard that right. Professional pet food testers are people who taste and evaluate the food that we feed to our pets. This extremely unusual job may sound crazy, but it pays more than you can imagine, between $20,000 and $100,000 a year. Now, before you start imagining someone chowing down on dog biscuits and kibble all day, let's make one thing clear. The main work of a professional pet food tester is not just eating the food, but actually testing it. These testers have to evaluate the nutritional value of 2 different pet foods and write up detailed reports that will help enhance the treats for our furry friends. The tasting experience starts from the smell and ends with texture and flavor. Every aspect of the food has to be documented, and the testers have to make sure that the food is appealing and delicious for our pets. After all, everyone wants to give their sidekick pet the best possible food. Now, you may wonder why someone would choose to do such a job. Well, for starters, it's a great alternative for a steady career. But more than that, it's a job that lets you work with animals and help improve their nutrition. It's a job that requires a keen sense of smell and taste and attention to detail, so it's perfect for those who have a passion for food and animals. Sadly, there are no vacancies for this job in the US. It's never even existed in the first place. Number 6. Shark hunters. We all know that the Greenland shark is the most toxic shark in the world, but did you know that in Iceland, there is a family that has been making and selling fermented meat from it for generations? Meet Gergen Hildebrandsson and his family, who have turned this dangerous delicacy into a thriving business. The process of making this fermented meat is laborious and time-consuming, taking 6 months in total. First, the meat is stored in cold rooms for 6 to 9 weeks, allowing it to ferment. Then, it is hung outside for another 6 months to dry out while still retaining the correct texture. But why would anyone eat this meat? Well, it's considered a delicacy in Iceland and is said to have a unique taste and texture. It's also believed to have medicinal properties and is used to treat a variety of ailments. Now, you might be wondering why this job could never exist in the USA. The answer lies in food safety regulations. The production of this type of meat is not allowed in the United States due to health and safety concerns. But even if it were allowed, it's hard to imagine anyone being willing to take on this risky and time-consuming job. Number 5. Animal psychologists. Ever imagined what being an animal psychologist or therapist feels like? Well, it's a unique and exciting career that involves supporting and treating animals who are dealing with emotional or behavioral issues. As an animal therapist, you'd work with all kinds of animals, from household pets to exotic creatures like lions, tigers, and bears. The job involves studying animal behavior patterns and changes to understand what is upsetting or even hurting the animal. You'd use your knowledge and experience to offer effective treatment and help the animal regain its balance and well-being. Animal psychologists also use special techniques like interactive play, positive reinforcement, and environmental enrichment to help animals overcome anxiety, stress, and other issues. Sadly, this job could never exist in the USA, and that's because the government has deemed it illegal. Yes, you heard me right. You cannot legally practice animal therapy in the USA. It's a bizarre law that has its roots in the belief that animals don't have emotions and can't feel pain, which we know is not true. Number 4. Book conservationist. Meet Sophia Bogle, a book magician who brings 120-year-old archival books back to life. Sophia's daily job is an extraordinary one. She gets to work with rare and antique books, breathing new life into them, making them look like they've just come off the press. The process of restoring an old book is not an easy one. It's a meticulous process that requires patience and skill. Sophia's first step is to deconstruct the book, which means removing the acidic old tape from the cover. Once that's done, she sands it down, removes any blemishes, and cleans it with a repair knife, getting rid of any gunk that may have collected on the cover over the years. Next up are the individual pages. Sophia washes them in hot water and then restores them using Japanese tissue paper. The process of restoring each page is like a puzzle, making sure every piece fits perfectly. She has to be careful not to damage the original text or illustrations, which can be quite challenging. Why could this job not exist in the USA? Well, that's because the USA doesn't have many 120-year-old archival books to restore. However, in places like Europe, where history and culture are highly regarded, book conservationists are in high demand. These ancient texts are not only a valuable source of information, but they're also a significant piece of the country's heritage. Number 3. Ice cream tester. In some countries, being an ice cream taster is a little different than what you might expect. For example, in Australia, there's an ice cream flavor made from crocodile eggs. Yes, you read that right. And in Italy, there's an ice cream flavor made from Parmesan cheese. If you're a professional ice cream taster in these countries, you'll have to be willing to taste these unconventional flavors and come up with new and creative flavors that will appeal to the public. But it's not just about the taste, it's also about the texture. Some people like their ice cream smooth and creamy, while others prefer it chunky with bits of fruit or nuts. As an ice cream taster, you'll have to be able to identify the different textures and make sure they're just right. But don't think this job is just all fun and games. To be a professional ice cream taster, you'll need to have a degree in food science, chemistry, or product development. You'll also need to have an excellent palate and be able to identify different flavors and aromas. One ice cream taster who has really made a name for himself is Giovanni Scoma in Italy. Scoma has been an ice cream taster for over 25 years and has tasted some of the most unique and interesting flavors out there. He's even created his own flavor called Achilles Heel, which is made with cinnamon, figs, and honey. So, while being a professional ice cream taster might sound like a dream job, it's not for the faint of heart. You'll need to be open to trying new and sometimes strange flavors. Number 2. Fortune cookie writer. If you've ever found yourself puzzled by the cryptic messages inside fortune cookies, then it's all thanks to the weird career of fortune cookie writing. The people who come up with the catchy one-liners we find in Chinese restaurants are highly skilled writers hired by fortune cookie manufacturers. Can you imagine a job that pays you up to $100,000 a year for coming up with random sayings and lucky numbers? Well, fortune cookie writing is that job. Writers have to come up with multiple one-liners throughout the day. If they can create 500 fortunes a day, the salary can be as high as $300 to $400 per day. The best part about this job is that it can be either part-time or full-time. You just need to have a witty mind and sharp writing skills to get started. One must be able to write and convey a message in just a few short words, and sometimes that includes out-of-the-box ideas for fortunes. However, this strange job could never exist in the USA because fortune cookies are native to China. So if you're looking for this unique profession, you might have to try your luck in China instead. Number 1. Bingo manager. Do you love bingo? Have you ever dreamed of becoming a bingo manager? If you answered yes, then you might want to consider applying for a job at a casino in the bustling city of Bangkok, Thailand. Here, being a bingo manager is not only a fun and exciting job, but it's also a highly respected and lucrative career path. As a bingo manager in Bangkok, you'll have a variety of responsibilities, from overseeing the day-to-day operations of the bingo hall to managing the staff and ensuring that the game runs smoothly. But that's not all. You'll also be responsible for creating unique bingo themes, designing colorful bingo cards, and even coming up with creative ways to engage players and keep them entertained. One of the most exciting aspects of this job is the opportunity to participate in Thailand's legendary Bingo Wars. These battles are more than just a game. They're a fierce competition that takes place between different casinos and bingo halls, where each establishment tries to outdo the other with bigger jackpots, flashier prizes, and more exciting game variations. But being a bingo manager in Bangkok isn't just about the glitz and glamour. You'll also need to be an expert in Thai gaming laws, regulations, and etiquette. You'll need to be highly skilled in customer service and have excellent communication skills in both English and Thai. And of course, you'll need to have a love for bingo and be able to keep the energy levels high throughout the entire game. Perhaps you'd be pleased to know that a bingo manager in Bangkok can earn between $60,000 and $100,000 per year, depending on their level of experience and skills. However, being a bingo manager is a job that is non-existent in America, but it's an excellent example of how different cultures and countries can have unique and fascinating careers.